Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now July 6th of 2020, and ever since the release of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, a lot of fans around the world have had a lot of problems with the actual vision of Star Wars by Disney and Lucasfilm, and exactly how Kathleen Kennedy's leadership was with The Last Jedi, and especially even with The Rise of Skywalker. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the one thing about Disney Star Wars is that we do know that they are now in a phase of desperation and damage control in order to really get themselves back in a better position when it comes to the Star Wars universe, to really embrace it and to really make it a far better universe than ever before, and they really want to get it on the same exact level as the Marvel Cinematic Universe, also known simply as the MCU, by of course Disney as well. Now, currently we got both Bob Iger and Bob Chapek pretty much working together as a team, these two Disney CEOs. Mind you that Bob Iger is only here temporarily until next year in 2021, until he is actually going to leave after he shows Chapek the ropes to becoming the proper Disney CEO that he really needs to be. Now, on top of all this, what's really intriguing all has to do with the future of Star Wars and exactly what George Lucas, Jon Favreau, and Dave Filoni are all doing with this new expanded universe that is really going to be far larger than the old one that fans actually witnessed back in the 1990s and the early 2000s that really dealt with a lot of Star Wars legends. In fact, it was all Star Wars legends, and it really had a lot to do with the Skywalkers and others. Now, on top of all of this, what's really interesting is that now that the Skywalker saga is over, both Disney and Lucasfilm are making many changes to the Star Wars franchise behind the scenes in order to create a better future for the franchise moving forward. It's noted that one of the major plans by Bob Iger and Bob Chapek is to reunite the fans in order to make Star Wars as successful as it can be moving forward. However, George Lucas, Jon Favreau, and Dave Filoni are all working together behind the scenes in order to make this major change. It's described that recently creator George Lucas canceled a major Star Wars TV series for Disney Plus that was going to be one of the biggest Star Wars TV shows by Kathleen Kennedy before her creative power was taken away. It's noted that George Lucas canceled Kathleen Kennedy's version of the Old Republic TV series that was going to be full of woke culture and identity politics, and would also have a massive change of many of the characters. It's described that Kathleen Kennedy had planned the gender swap the character of Darth Revan to become a female in the new Star Wars TV series. However, recently George Lucas put all of this to an end and canceled her version of the new Star Wars TV show for Disney Plus that would be based around the Old Republic era of the Star Wars universe. Now, the series was also going to be a 10-episode season for starters, where the Old Republic's history would be completely changed from Star Wars Legends. However, Lucas recently put an end to all of that as of right now. So, the greatest thing about Lucas right now is that he really does seem to care about the Star Wars franchise, and this particular version of the Old Republic era would have been a disaster just waiting to happen by Kathleen Kennedy. This once again just pretty much, further shows us that Kathleen Kennedy has very poor leadership skills, she's very incompetent, she doesn't really know exactly how to handle the Star Wars universe and the Star Wars fandom, and what it really means to the actual community. So, the thing that really bothers me the most about this initial plan by Kathleen Kennedy for an Old Republic TV series is that it wasn't necessarily going to be true to the Star Wars Legends version of the Old Republic era, and that she was actually going to completely change the character of Darth Revan by gender swapping him. We've seen a great example of this in pop culture where a lot of characters have been swapped before in the past, and it really didn't work all that well. So it's really not the best decision to go through all of that. Thankfully, Lucas put an end to this, and he is actually going to be a part of his version of the Old Republic TV series for Disney Plus in the near future. Now, one would actually believe that, of course, Kathleen Kennedy would have had better sense than to do something so extreme like that. One would believe that even Kathleen Kennedy would know that that would cause a lot of backlash and a lot of fans to get very defensive and angry over that. But it seems like, to me at least, as if she's almost doing that on purpose in order to really just push her agenda forward no matter what, and whatever fans like it, and whatever fans don't, they don't. And that's just how she believes in it. So, when we look at everything related to the franchise, obviously it's had a lot of strengths and weaknesses when it came to Disney. What Bob Chapek wants to do is he really wants to make it a supreme Star Wars universe. He really wants to make it a very strong, expanded universe that's going to be as successful as the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because he really wants two franchises by Disney to really be just as successful as the other one. You know, not having one very strong and the other one being very weak. Which Star Wars, let's face it, it really does need fixing. It does need a lot of steps to make in order to really kind of bring it on the same exact level, and it's not going to be an easy task. There's no doubt about that. So, like I've said before in the past, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.